to the Brash Sports podcast, brought to you by Coasters. Looking for that perfect passive-aggressive gift for a friend or acquaintance that screams, "I don't give a shit about you, but here's something"? Give Coasters a try. These fun, insignificant circles of mediocrity will let them know that you've put minimal effort into your gift, all while maintaining the appearance that you care about watermarks on coffee tables. If you're in the market for coasters yourself, head to the local bar and use promo code BRASH88 to save 100% on coasters that you steal from them. We promise they'll keep your coffee tables just as protected as the ones you buy online, so don't do that. Coasters, what a stupid thing to talk about. I'm Josh. I'm joined by my best friend, Brandon. Brandon, we got a lot to talk about, buddy. Let's get into it.
Yeah, man, it's been a action-packed week. I mean, I can't wait to dive into this week.
Right on cue, we've got MLB news to talk about. They've lifted the lockout. Brandon, what are your thoughts?
I think that pretty much seals it. We have to dive in to this MLB lockout. But, you know, now that I think about it, I don't have many thoughts about this lockout being lifted. What about you?
No, I don't want to talk about it at all. Let's move on.
Let's go to the next topic then.
Yeah, let's talk about Aaron Rodgers re-signing, Russell Wilson to the Broncos, Carson Wentz to the Redskins. A lot of big quarterback moves, including one that was just little news dropped on us today. Deshaun Watson, no criminal charges. Could he find a landing spot in the next couple weeks? What do you think, Brandon?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit. No. We'll talk about why we're laughing later. But we talked about this a little bit before the start of the show, and that honestly, I had just heard about it 5 minutes ago. So this is news to me. But
who's here at Brash Sports?
He's definitely going to be on the move now. Without a doubt, he's going somewhere within the week, guaranteed. But I like, I'm guessing you were thinking maybe Seattle's a player in that, which would be solid for them. As a good replacement for Russell. And I, on the other hand, think Philly might be his destination, unfortunately, with the upgrade that the Redskins have made. So, but it's a minor one. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope you're right. I hope it is Seattle that he's headed to.
You definitely don't want him in the division. The other spot that I think I could see, because that was just first gut reaction, was like, oh, Seattle just got rid of Russ. Think about it a little more, like if they're smart and they're rebuilding right now, they're not going to want to take Deshaun Watson in, I don't think. Too much of a distraction, right? The Colts would be a perfect fit for Deshaun because they've already got a really good roster. They could plug him in and start winning immediately. Like, I like the Colts a lot for Deshaun Watson. I think that would be a huge move for him.
Well, yeah. I mean, here's the thing. Seahawks, they got, I believe, Geno Smith is their number 2. And then therefore he's number 1 right now. And I looked it up. Colts is Sam Ehlinger.
Yeah. And they've got another guy, too, that they've been grooming, but they're not ready.
No.
Roster. Seattle's roster is not very good right now. Like, they need to rebuild. They need to get rid of Pete Carroll. They need to fucking burn that thing down and start from scratch. So I don't know if Deshaun's the guy to go there, but I don't know. Crazier things happen.
No, I like the Colts idea. I like the Seahawks idea, and I hope I'm wrong, and it's not the Eagles in the end of the day. But let's talk about what these teams had to give up. And real quick, just as a reminder, I did tell you that there was no chance in hell Aaron Rodgers was leaving. It was a pipe dream for many teams and fans of those teams, such as myself. But it made no sense. I mean, he's coming off of a winning season. They were definitely an NFC favorite headed into the playoffs. They had a top 10 defense, Devontae Adams, frickin' Jones, the real Adam Jones. For those who know what I'm talking about, and there are some that do. And, so it just didn't make any sense. And a pretty solid offensive line to boot. So Rodgers stays in Green Bay. Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos was an interesting one because for whatever reason, I just totally missed the boat on that one. I never thought for a second that was going to happen, but it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I didn't see it coming either, but I love it. It does make perfect sense. They are easily a top 4 team in the AFC, and I think they could really be dangerous in the playoffs. Russ has never had an offensive-minded coach. He's never really had weapons as good as they have in Denver right now. I think he could absolutely ball out this season. And that defense is legit. He could take them deep in the playoffs, man. I don't know. Like, they're going to have to fight Kansas City for the division, but they're absolutely going to make the playoffs, and nobody's going to want to play them.
If for anything else, it just makes the AFC West officially the best division in football right now. No
Easily.
question. It probably already was, but now it's 100% official.
I was trying to think of a time when, like, another division in our lifetime that has had that many good quarterbacks top to bottom. Like, I can't think of a time when one division had nothing but stud quarterbacks top to bottom. I mean, Derek Carr at his worst is still a top 12 quarterback. Like, you have 12 of the best quarterbacks in the league in one division. It's pretty crazy.
You're right. No, yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, the next closest thing would probably be, and this, because there, you got the what is it, the AFC East? Is that that's the Ravens division, correct? So
AFC North.
Oh, they're North. Okay, why did I think that was the Colts division?
It's the South. You are all backwards.
Oh my God. Well, anyway, no, I'm sorry, dude. Let me hold on one second. Let's just let's take a little quick break. Let's do a little reboot there. That calls for a slight intermission.
I'll drink to that, buddy.
Yeah, man, just to get myself in gear. I'm thinking the AFC North. Of course, Lamar Jackson and my boy Joe Burrow. That's the next closest thing. But yeah, you're talking about 2 quarterbacks instead of the solid 4 that we got now in the AFC West. So I'm looking forward to those games. I told you my prediction is a Chiefs-Broncos primetime game at some point this upcoming season.
Oh,
it's going to happen.
Absolutely.
I'm feeling it's a Monday night game. You said it might be a Sunday night game. Either way, we're getting a primetime game, and we're going to get it early this upcoming year. I can't wait to watch it. What did the Broncos have to give up? I can't recall off the top of my head.
2 firsts, 2 seconds, maybe a third, and they're spread out over a couple years.
And 3 players, right?
3 players. They gave up Noah Fant. They gave up, I think, a linebacker and someone else. Noah Fant's a pretty good tight end, but
is Teddy Bridgewater still on the team, or?
I don't know. I mean, he's a great backup if they can manage to keep him without fucking their salary cap up. But
okay.
They traded Drew Lock. So Drew Lock
is there you go. Okay.
He's the guy in Seattle right now.
Okay. All right. Well,
and they've got Drew fucking Lock.
Yeah, exactly. It's locked in. It's Drew. God damn it. But then Wentz on the quarterback news that kind of fell to the wayside this week. Carson Wentz goes to the team formerly known as the Washington Redskins, and we only had to give up 2 third-round picks for him. One of those could end up being a second-round pick, apparently, depending on how many games he plays. I know you reminded me that he did, in fact, play a full season this year.
He did.
And they capped it off with a beautiful loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars to miss the playoffs. But I just have a hard time believing the man's going to make it. I have a hard time believing he's going to make it to 17 games, Hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. Last year was rare. Washington's O-line is decent. Like, he'll get enough protection, I think. And he's another one where he has not had a receiver as good as Terry McLaurin in his career. That could be an absolute game changer. And Logan Thomas coming back next year, like, Redskins have some sneaky offensive weapons. Carson Wentz is underrated. He just gets shit on because he does dumb shit like lose a win in your in game against the Jaguars somehow. But I mean, you look at his passer rating is as good as most of the quarterbacks in the top 10 to 15. He's got like a 4-to-1 touchdown to interception ratio, which is what you want, right? If you want more than that, it's like, cool, there's 3 guys in the league who do it, and they're Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen, and I don't know who else, but like, it's just not realistic. So I don't know. I think in terms of just value, dude, you didn't give up a ton to get him, and he hasn't played bad. He's just not. He's not someone you would want to, sell the farm for. But
I don't think they did.
Great stopgap situation. You still got Heineke there for if Tom Brady comes back and they need to sub somebody in to go beat Tom Brady.
Absolutely. Or if we happen to have the Bucks on our schedule, which I don't believe we do, but yeah, if we have to, cross paths with Tampa, that we got to sub in Heineke because he loves to hate the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But yeah, real quick to finish up the Wentz conversation. I mean, I do feel like for whatever reason, and it might be the fact that he went to Washington and not any other of the 31 teams in the NFL, but he has been taking a lot of hits ever since this trade was made. The man only threw 7 interceptions last year out of the 17 games he played, which is outstanding. And it's funny.
It's like, what do you want?
When I was watching the Sports Center breakdown and what do you think about the move, when they were taking a shit on him, they were just showing, on replay, all 7 of the interceptions that he threw. Those were the highlights. And they were all really bad. I mean, there's really no such thing as a pretty interception, but, a lot of them were those stupid little, what do you call them?
He's always been a gunslinger. Like, what, a shovel pass?
Yeah, most of the 3 of them were just shovel passes that were picked and returned for a touchdown. They looked really bad, but especially if you just, play them on rewind constantly. I mean, you can make anybody look like shit if all you're doing is playing their worst plays. But
your first mistake was watching ESPN for decent content.
Well, I don't do it all the time. I just, I was just kind of interested to see what their take was, and I shouldn't have been surprised that they hated it. But who gives a shit? I'm excited because it is, maybe not the biggest upgrade, but it is an upgrade nonetheless. It gives us more options in the first round of the draft too. We don't have to focus solely on these underwhelming quarterbacks that are coming out this year, and perhaps gives us an opportunity to maybe think about going that direction next year if Wentz shits the bed. But he's going to get his chance, and I hope he totally redeems himself.
I think he will. I think he might surprise people, or you get exactly what the Colts got, and it's a 30 touchdown, 7 interception guy that is good enough to win games. I mean, obviously, he lost the most important game of the year to them, but I don't know, man. Can't hold too much against the guy. Like, you're getting what you're getting.
I just want a winning record. That's all I want. All I want is a winning record. Okay, come on. 9-8. Let's do it. We can do it. All right. So there's the quarterback news of the day. Or the week.
There was a lot.
There's a lot about to be going on in basketball too. Your favorite.
Ooh, are we talking NBA now?
We're moving over to NBA.
I fucking love the NBA.
I think you wanted to hit on your favorite team out of Los Angeles. You had your little bone to pick with them.
I don't have a bone to pick. I wish that we had started this podcast a year ago, 8 months ago, whenever they made the trade for Russell Westbrook because I was surrounded by a group of people that said, holy shit, the Lakers are going to win it all. And I adamantly said, no, they're not. They are not going to be that good. They're overrated. They're old. Russell Westbrook's a turnover machine. Him and LeBron aren't going to fit because they both need the ball. Dude, I called everything to a T. And I have no proof of it whatsoever other than a couple buddies who was at the bar with that night that were like, they were like, dude, you're crazy. They've got Carmelo Anthony. It's like, dude, he's 40 years old. What are you talking about? And Carmelo's been like one of their best role players this year. Their team is so bad. They gave all their good young players to the Wizards, a team with no direction, unfortunately, because they do have some talent on that team.
Well, in the end, the team that benefited most from that move were the Dallas Mavericks. So, hats off to them.
Oh yeah, very true, very true. But I didn't even realize they were playing tonight. Wizards Lakers. It's a good little reunion match. Is it in Washington or in LA?
No, that's why it's at 10:30 Eastern time because
Right.
they're in the Staples Center, which I know is not the Staples Center anymore, but I don't know what it's called. It's some
Crypto Arena, which is
crypto shit. Yeah.
It's almost as bad as saying the Commanders instead of the Redskins.
I mean, if they called it Crypto Court, that would sound cool, but it's some really stupid fucking name.
No. Do people even like resonate with hearing a .com anymore? Why do people still say .com?
There are still people that, and maybe it's just me, but there are still people out there that refer to the Capital One Arena as either the MCI Center or the Verizon Center.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, and if you say Verizon Center, MCI Center, nobody stops you and says, whoa, wait 1 second there. Don't you mean Capital One Arena, okay? That's the sponsorship that they have lined up right now. Let's not forget.
And the problem is, it was the Staples Center for 20 years, and like a legitimate championship team was in a building. It was in that building for that long. It's an iconic arena.
True. Yeah.
It's not the same as, I mean, no offense, but nobody's won in that arena except for the Caps one time.
And just real quick on things like that, it does make you wonder, like with a place like Wrigley Field or Heinz Field, like could you imagine if all of a sudden a new sponsor came in, because now they just have that identity. Like when you say Heinz Field, you're not thinking ketchup. At least I'm not,
Ketchup.
If you said Heinz in any other context, I would think ketchup. But when you say Heinz Field, I just think, oh yeah, home of the Steelers. And you say Wrigley Field, I'm like, oh yeah.
How? Oh,
hold on.
We're blowing it. Yeah. All right. Do you want to go first?
No, I think you should take this one. Play it safe.
Yeah. I mean, there's just not many arenas and stadiums in the country that don't have a sponsor anymore. Like, there's Fenway and there's Yankee Stadium, and like that's all I can think of off the top of my head. Soldier Field, is Soldier Field still a thing, or do they have a fucking sponsor?
Didn't they move away from Soldier Field? I didn't.
No.
I thought they moved away from Soldier Field. I thought that happened.
Cold day in hell. Actually, I don't know.
Are you looking it up now?
It says Soldier Field. Brought to you by crypto.com /
Yeah, exactly.
/Bitcoin. Dude, it's still Soldier Field. Okay, so that's sad for how many arenas there are in the country. I can only think of 3 off the top of my head. Everything else has a sponsor. The difference is, you're right, Wrigley Field, you don't think about gum. Like, you know what I mean? So, Staples Center will always be, it never reminded me of the fucking office supply store. It'll always just be the place that the Lakers played and the Clippers showed up to occasionally.
The whole point is, Lakers fans, you can still call it whatever the fuck you want. Nobody cares. Okay?
Was the point of this?
That was the whole point. That's what we were trying to say. If you have a problem with it not being Staples, just call it Staples. All right? I mean, even though it's an office supply store, call it Staples Center. Nobody gives a fuck. Everyone knows what you're talking about. You're going to lose to the Wizards tonight. So, moving on to other basketball news. You wanted me to tune in to check out the Brooklyn Nets take it on the Philadelphia 76ers. By the time I turned the game on, it was over, and it was beginning of the third quarter, I believe, when they were like down by 30.
I think they were losing by like 25 at half, something like that. Maybe 23.
Pretty bad.
Oh, it was a horrible game for the 76ers. I personally thought the 76ers were going to win. I bet them -4. It didn't pan out. But the big reason why it was so intriguing, you got to see obnoxious Philly fans booing somebody. And that's just dude, I love it when Philly fans are Philly fans because you can always look back and go, your fans suck. They're like, no, we don't. Well, yeah, you threw batteries at Santa Claus, dude. Fuck off. Your fans suck. Like, Ben Simmons, by the way, deserves to be booed. But, man, they went in on the dude. And he was talking about, he left for mental health issues, right? And he came back, and they just didn't let up. They were relentless. Oh, no.
This is for Ben Simmons.
This is for the state of Ben Simmons' health. By the way, also, Ben Simmons, if you ever watch this, Ben, I think I sympathize with people who have mental health issues. But you got out of the situation you were in. Play the fucking game.
Yeah, I can't go out of work. I can't say, "Hey, boss, look, I can't come in today. I'm sad." They won't. They'll be like, "Oh, okay, well, you're fired."
Hit it.
Oh yeah, and then of course.
Oh no! God.
Oh yeah, I know. All right,
5 episodes without that fucking sound.
I don't know where it's. We were saving it for episode 5. I think it's telling me there is a limit though. There's a limit, so I've already used up more than half of the dramatic piano sound effect. I'm gonna miss it when it's gone. I'm gonna have to pay extra to make sure that never goes away.
I don't care how much it costs. I will chip in and we'll get as much dramatic piano as possible. And by the way, we discovered this 30 seconds before we started recording.
Oh, it was right before we started. We're like, "Oh, are you ready?" I'm like, "Oh, wait a second, hold on. What if it happens if I click up here and then the whole episode changed from there? My brain stopped working. It was the sound effect that broke our brains.
Or what was left of them to begin with.
You know what's happening this Sunday? It's time. It's Vader time. No, it is. It's time for Selection Sunday. We are getting into the madness that is college basketball. I haven't really been keeping track. But let's be honest, most people don't. Until it's time to fill out your bracket. I'm excited. I did catch a little bit of the Miami Duke game that was starting right before we hopped on here. Miami had a really fast start, so hopefully they're taking care of business right now. But hey, wait a second. Explain this to me. Is this a new thing? Just getting into college basketball. North Carolina beat Duke in what was Coach K's last home game.
Correct.
So I thought that was they were knocked out of their conference championship, but they're still playing. Or what is it? Is it a series?
That was the last game of the regular season before the conference tournament.
Okay, all right.
That's the intriguing storyline in the ACC: is will Duke UNC get a rematch? But it obviously won't be in Durham. So that was his last home game. right? And it was against UNC, crazy. Like people around here were going fucking nuts for it. I didn't watch because I had other things going on, but it was weird to not. I would have laid all my money on Duke to win. You know what I mean?
Oh, absolutely,
At home,
absolutely.
last game, they're a better team than UNC, or they have been all season. That was very shocking to me.
Oh, that's why it's maybe the biggest rivalry in college basketball. Maybe that's just in my lifetime, but
easily basketball.
Yeah,
easily. I can't even think of who another one would be.
I'm going to point out something here real quick, and I really hope this isn't the case. We're going to find out only after I submit this episode for editing.
Am I frozen?
No. That's happened many a time. But your microphone's been a little iffy. I'm not going to lie. But here's the thing. It could just be on my end that I'm hearing this. You know, maybe it sounds perfect to you and it will sound perfect on the recording. But we won't know until the finished product is out there. And we're going to have a listen. And who knows? This might be the episode that never airs. We might have to just say – Anderson might say, you know what, to hell with that, throw it in the goddamn trash. And I'll have to see.
I knew it. I knew it was coming. I knew it. God bless. I was waiting for it.
I get it all of it.
Piano, it's coming. It's coming. There's never a bad time for it.
No.
About something sad, it's funny. And if you're talking about something like upbeat and happy,
absolutely. You could bring down the entire room with that sound effect, you know. I got great news, and then pump that in there, and it's like, oh my God, is it great news? Or is it very cynical news that only you find great?
For anyone wondering how much thought and production value goes into this podcast, we are in episode 5, and we just discovered we had that, and now we can't even stop talking about or using it.
It's a work in progress. We're going to find out how to get more and more of those sound effects, and we're also going to, find out how to put together some better material moving forward so it's a bit more structured. And I don't put NFL teams in other divisions and players on teams that they never played for. We want to make it sound like we know what the fuck we're talking about here at Brash Sports. We take our jobs really seriously. And by hold on. No. Anderson's telling us we got to back off on the dramatic piano sound effect because apparently every time we play it.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's just coming right out of his wallet.
I had no idea. I thought it was complimentary of our friends at Zencaster.
It charges the company credit card every time you use it.
Every time they have to swipe, every single time. So we might sneak maybe one more, maybe. He's saying no, but I think it's going to happen anyway at some point.
It's going to happen. Don't listen to Anderson.
So the brackets are being released here soon, Josh. What's going on?
I don't know what's going on. I usually just here's the way to pick a bracket. Go with your gut. Do minimal research.
Yeah, absolutely.
Read through them. If you don't know anything about the teams, pick a mascot you like, right? It's not it's not super advantageous to pick a ton of heavy underdogs, but you got to throw them in there and just go with your gut. That's the ultimate way. And mine usually do pretty well, and I don't pay any attention, and I just wing it. And it usually turns out pretty well. I don't know. What's your thought, B?
The trick is pick them fast. Just
yeah, for sure.
Whip out that bad boy and just start making your picks like a madman, Yeah. You whip that shit out. Swing it all over that bracket. Just, don't give a fuck about... How did you know? You knew it was coming.
Oh, I knew. I knew. Dude, we've been friends for 20 years. Of course I knew that was coming.
Okay. So that's
damn.
my piece of advice, my bracketology advice for the coming week. We're thinking about if we can get your microphone worked on, should there be an issue, maybe sneaking in a little bracketology episode completely dedicated to our filthy, disgusting brackets that we're going to fill out.
Yep.
I've always said I'm a true believer of this because I don't really watch any college basketball throughout the season, but I always fill out a bracket. I always fill out three. You got your dream bracket.
Mm-hmm.
You got your coin toss bracket. That's right. You go down the line flipping a coin, okay? Give a team heads, give a team tails, and then you make your picks all the way up until the end. I did one year. My coin flip bracket had Vermont winning it all, and this was like 10 years ago when Vermont were literally just the laughing stock. Now they're winning some games, but still kind of a laughing stock to win it all. And then of course go with your gut. That's my favorite. So go with your gut's really the best one. Just go with your gut, pick them fast, and then after that, you can do your dream bracket and your coin flip bracket. But you got to have at least three. Why not? Doesn't cost anything. And then you win the big bucks, right? I think it's like $1 million prize or $100,000. I mean, it should be $1 million.
I mean, I've never gotten close enough to really care about what.
No.
Doesn't what's his name? The Berkshire Hathaway guy. Warren Buffett, doesn't he do like $1 billion giveaway? Billion with a B.
I have no fucking idea. I always felt the ESPN one.
Hold on, I'm looking this up. I need that billion.
Yeah, I know. Well, if that is the case, then we're definitely going to have to do that for our bracketology episode. Which again, we're just dangling out there. Not quite sure if it's going to happen yet. Anderson's going to have to probably dip his toes into the budget to get Josh a new mic potentially, but we shall see.
Yeah, I really hope the mic's not fucking up and all this is nothing.
No, it won't all be for nothing. If anything, it'd just be one of those, to hell with it episodes that, we can just look back at it and yeah, that one you didn't see coming. I knew it. I know. That was awesome. Awesome.
That was so good. All right.
Oh man, now he's pissed. He's pissed. He's saying, "Do it again," and I think, yeah, I'm being replaced.
So I did a quick Google, and I'm seeing $1 million bracket challenge and $1 billion bracket challenge powered by Warren Buffett. So I don't fucking know.
All right. Well, and the ESPN one.
If it's not for $1 billion, I'm not doing it.
yeah, and then ESPN's is just a lowly $100,000. $100,000.
Those broke ass bitches over at ESPN.
Could you imagine if you got them all right, but you only filled it out on ESPN, knowing that you could have filled it out somewhere else and got a mill or a bill? Unless you got a stinky wipe your ass with $100,000. There's only one thing. There's only one thing I think about when I think of it. Okay, all right. Really, seriously, he's not liking that. All right, so.
It costs us $17 every time you do that, Brandon.
Well, there was something that cost us money last weekend. That only cost us $6, but it was a lot of fun, and it was our first ever weekend parlay. And I'd say for the 6 pick up sticks, we did pretty good. We got 4 out of 6, man. Come on, for the first one. So here, you break it down first, because you went balls to the wall with these picks. Mine, I just did straight from the heart, tried to play it safe, and of course ended up getting bit on one of them. But we'll start off with you, and then we'll move on to my disappointment.
Well, I think what was good is that we both hit our favorites and we both hit our coin flips. Those are two that you expect to hit, right? If you can't hit a favorite, you can't hit a coin flip. Fuck. When you're betting an underdog, there's obviously a good chance it's not gonna hit, right? If there was a really good way to predict underdogs hitting, like that guy would have broken Vegas by now. So the fact that we missed our underdogs, no big deal. I think it just proves that UFC is really hard to bet, and golf is really hard to bet, and Rory McIlroy is banned from me ever betting on his buster ass again. He's done. He's fucking finished.
Luck of the Irish, my ass.
So yeah, he's done. And I also think golf is done. Like it's so unpredictable. It's so hard to bet golf 2 days ahead of time. And he came out on Saturday, like the morning after we recorded this, and just started shitting the bed. When he was in second place, he dropped to like 10th after Saturday. I was like, God damn it. So yeah, we both did really well. You had 2 soccer picks that hit. I had 2 hockey picks that hit. You bet with your heart, and they hit.
I did.
That is a bonus because you got teams that you root for winning. That's awesome. I had teams that I just slightly researched in the NHL. Both hit. Am I an NBA or an NHL guru? Yes. I think it's clear to say that I can be held among the highest regard when it comes to NHL experts in the world.
I mean,
parlay.
They call you Mr. NHL for a reason, Josh. I mean, you earned that nickname, and it was because of 1 week's parlay.
In a row.
That's all it took. One parlay where you got 2 picks in the NHL correct. Mr. NHL it is. So you decided to throw a little NHL pick into this week's parlay. So, hey, real quick, let me just, let me get into my last week's pick. So I went with my heart. I decided, of course, I'm going to go with my heart in the future. Not necessarily this week, but in the future. And 2 of them hit, 1 didn't. And of course, that was my Masvidal got his ass kicked by Colby Covington. He just got beat. He just got basically held down on the canvas, for 5 rounds. He clocked him once really good, but turns out Colby Covington has that iron jaw that has already been broken before, but I guess it heals up even stronger. So, that's what they say. So he was able to survive that hit, and of course he took a unanimous decision. I had DC United, who they won in the 98th minute with 1 man down. They got a red card 10 minutes prior. And they got a miracle penalty due to a real shitty handball by Cincinnati. I mean, their home crowd they were shitting in their hands and throwing it on the pitch. It was disgusting. I'm like, you filthy bastards. I would never go to a Cincinnati game. I wouldn't recommend it.
People of Cincinnati.
No. So, and then, of course, my favorite, these guys right here, They played pretty good. The second half was definitely just complete domination. The first half, it looked like it was going to be more of a competition. But overall, the final score was 4-1. And I will say your boy Mike was a complete sportsman about the whole thing. He basically sounded, when we were texting during the game, he sounded like I sound when I'm watching the Redskins. That's how I sound. So I completely understood where he was coming from, and I wasn't beating him up over it. I wasn't rubbing it in because I felt like I had already done that enough on the previous podcast. So, there's plenty more time for that down the line, and they're still technically in the Champions League, so I don't want to talk too much shit just in case we have to meet up with them again. But overall, Great first week of our parlay. And now we're moving on to this weekend's parlay.
Weekend
Josh,
parlay.
you go first. You got them in front of you. Your favorite, favorite coin flip underdog. That's how we do it here at Brash Sports.
I got him, and you know, Mr. NHL himself.
He's in the building. Here comes Mr. NHL. I think the name of this episode is just going to be Piano. Piano? Why is it called that? I don't remember.
I thought there was a chance you were going to go with the MLB soundbite that we just discovered, too.
Nope. That only gets played once. That one. I mean, talk about lockout. That one costs way too much money. Anderson was flipping his shit when I played at the beginning of the show. He's like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I told you, don't click that. It's just there for filler. It's not there to be played with. So anyway, that I think we've reached our limit on the sound effects, but who knows? There's still some time left. But all right, so it's Mr. NHL himself getting back in the parlay. What do you got, Josh?
Going right back to the well. Flyers at Hurricanes tomorrow at noon. The Hurricanes are going to whoop that ass. Flyers are bad. Hurricanes at home are legit. They're minus 305, so not great odds, but that's a sure bet. That is 100% going to happen. The Hurricanes are going to beat out of the Philadelphia Flyers.
Good. Another Philly team going down. I like it.
Love to see it.
All right.
What is your favorite?
Oh, we're going with my favorite. All right, my favorite. I got, I'm actually going all soccer this weekend. And again, as a reminder to people out there, we go through our Barstool Sportsbook, and we are not able to pick NBA games for future dates. So we're kind of limited. Which is probably why we had UFC and a golf pick last week. But my favorite this weekend is going to be Chelsea beating Newcastle at the Bridge. They are minus 315. So I will be honest. Newcastle. I looked at this one for a while because Newcastle have been playing relatively good the past 8 or 9 games. But the fact is, when it comes to their defense, listen to this. We got the goals conceded. We have 46 for Newcastle. Okay, and then put that in perspective with Chelsea, who's tied for first, 18 goals conceded. So I had to go with Chelsea there. They're pissed off with their whole confusion at the ownership situation. They don't know who's going to own their team. The players don't know what the fuck's going on. They're angry. They're going to get a win. It's probably going to be by a couple goals. So I got Chelsea beating Newcastle at Stamford Bridge as my favorite.
I like that pick. I like it a lot. All right, moving on to the coin flip. My coin flip is going to be in college basketball. We do have an early release on some of the games tomorrow. The one I like the most is UMBC, that's University of Maryland, Baltimore campus. You might remember them as the only 16 seed ever to upset a number 1 seed in the tournament. They are facing off against their most hated rivals, Vermont, of all teams.
It's Vermont.
The Vermont Catamounts, which is one of the worst team names in the country. They probably should have made the list last week. They are getting 15.5 points. So all they have to do is lose by 14 points, and we're good. These games get closer and closer as you get close to the conference finals. And UMBC has gotten their asses kicked twice by Vermont. It's not going to happen again. They are going to keep this game close. I didn't like them to pull the upset. The money line was like plus 900 something. But I do like them plus 15.5. I don't think there's any way they lose by double digits. I think they keep it relatively close.
Well, it's a much bigger breakdown than I'm going to give my coin toss, because I'll tell you what, my coin toss was truly a coin toss. It was just like the coin toss I'm going to have in one of my brackets next week. I'm going MLS for my coin toss, because let's be honest, even if you're a soccer fan, a diehard soccer fan, you don't know shit about MLS, probably until you're about 20 games in. So for whatever reason, I'm feeling good about it. I got a tingle that Nashville is gonna go up against FC Dallas, and they're gonna get the victory. Both these teams, they're pretty much kind of in the same spot. We got FC Dallas, who right now they're sitting at 1 point. And Nashville, who's still a relatively new squad, they're at 4 points. So it's a win that separates them. A win for FC Dallas, obviously, would tie things up. But I just feel like Nashville is, they're starting off hotter, and they've went up against some more quality opponents early in the season. So give me Nashville against Dallas this weekend. That's going to be at 8:30 mañana.
Okay. That's a good one. You're going back to your well too, man. You're 2-0 in soccer last week. Do we need to play Mr. Soccer?
Well, if I go 3-0 this week, Mr. Soccer it is. But if I don't, if it's 0-3, that's a different story,
Big difference.
I'm feeling good about it, though.
You're going to have to go back to the UFC if that's the case. All right, time for the underdogs. The underdogs that did not help us out too much last week.
No. We got to make these underdogs count this week. It's play it safe.
I got one that I really like. So, Indiana versus Iowa tomorrow. Big East tournament. I'm sorry, Big Ten tournament.
Okay.
It's in Indianapolis. This is going to be a home game for Indiana. Indiana is a basketball school. Iowa is a football school. Indiana plus 210 makes so much sense in my mind, and I know nothing about these two teams. I think Iowa is ranked, Indiana not. I could flip a coin, or I could say, you know what? Give me the historically good basketball squad. Give me the home field advantage. That's why I'm going Indiana plus 210 versus Iowa.
Okay. That's it. So Hoosiers all the way?
Hoosiers all the way, baby.
All right, man.
Daddy.
Gene Hackman, shout out.
Gene Hackman will be there rooting them on.
Exactly. He will be on the sideline. He'll be ready to go. I can't wait to see Indiana Hoosiers and Gene Hackman tomorrow. That is tomorrow, not Sunday, right?
Clear out your life savings. Take it to Vegas. Put it on Indiana, because Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman Hoosiers tomorrow, 1 o'clock on CBS. I swear to God, if he's really there tomorrow, I'm going to lose my shit. All right, I hope they're showing that, on my local TV. But I'm sure that it has to be, right?
Yeah. All these conference tournament games are on.
All right, so my under, again, Mr. Soccer. I had to look through something that was a difficult play, but also made just a boatload of fucking sense. And I looked up some more matchups in the English Premier League this weekend, specifically for tomorrow, and couldn't help but notice a barn burner in Brentford versus Burnley. Nobody's going to be watching this game except for Brentford and Burnley supporters, but I thought to myself, why not give myself an excuse to be entertained a little bit, So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say these two teams, they have a slobber knocker of a matchup, but it ends up being a lowly draw, 1 point for each squad. I got a draw, and the beauty is it's at plus 220. It doesn't matter what the score is. It could be 0-0. It could be 1-1. It could be 5-5, which is what I'm hoping for. But, we got Brentford, Burnley. I believe that's a 10 o'clock game tomorrow. Maybe not on your local US of A, but if you got Peacock, tune in, all right? We're pulling for the draw tomorrow, and I'm excited, man. I feel like week 2, I'm not doing it. It's not happening. Don't worry. It's over. Anderson told me don't fucking do it again. But I am. It's not happening. And because we in fact, we already have, we already have some music in the works, by the way, for our segment. So that, we'll see that after this has been edited. But, I'm feeling pretty good about this. I think the first time we learned a lot. We learned about, we're learning off of our mistakes from last week. So it's time for us to all we have to do is get our underdogs fixed, and we're golden.
Yeah. I like our underdogs this week. A draw in a Premier League game that no one gives a shit about.
No one gives a shit about.
Basically free money. Indiana playing at home in college basketball with Gene Hackman.
Gene fucking Hackman? Are you kidding me? I know.
It's free money. I mean, there's no way. All right, so Brandon, tell the viewers at home what the odds are and what $6, $1 each for each of these plays, what the payout is.
So this a $6 bet for this 6-game parlay, which is French for parlay, is a plus 9,429, which it also happens to be Josh and I's lucky number. 9,429, our lucky number, and that is a beautiful payout after a $6 bet of $565.79, which also so happens to be one of our lucky numbers.
It's also the cost of 2 nice microphones, which maybe we could invest in.
I'm telling you, it's meant to be. If we hit and we play this back and realize, we got a problem here, then Major Tom to ground control. It's time for a new microphone. I know. I didn't actually have written on here I was going to do a David Bowie reference. That just slipped out. But hey, you know what?
It was on the hit list.
I don't have the sound effects yet. But once we get more sound effects, you can be damn sure we'll get more David Bowie involved.
Can't wait. I'd love to get him on. Hey, ask Anderson if he can get David Bowie on the podcast.
Oh yeah, it's a good point. Hold on. Bowie? Oh shit. Yeah, he says
Bowie. That's all
he says that's a no-go. I'll tell you why after the show.
Oh no. Oh no. I was waiting for it.
Of course. Well, hey.
That one was too real.
I think, here's the good thing about the piano episode is that the piano has been worn the fuck out. The keys probably won't work by next episode. So,
get it tuned.
And we'll get it tuned. We'll be able to bring it back and surprise people like 10 episodes down the line. People will have totally forgotten about episode 5. I mean, this is already going to be one of those where it's going to be like, oh shit, how the hell did we suffer through that with the piano and the mic and Brandon forgetting what teams or what divisions? What the fuck is wrong with him?
There is still no concrete evidence that my mic is fucked up. All right, we'll just have to see. I'm still putting the episode out there. By the way, I mean we're just gonna have to put in parentheses fucked up Mike, I mean, we'll just, warning, Mike fucked up. But hopefully that's not the case, man. Hopefully it was nice and clean the whole time. But either way,
we gotta wrap a bow on this thing, Josh. So
we owe it to everyone who's put up with this episode the entire time.
Hey!
To it.
No, that's not true, man. Damn it.
No, this actually, I think we look back on this one as one of the best.
Yeah, there's been some good laughs, okay? If you didn't laugh at the fucking piano, you don't have a sense of humor, and you shouldn't be tuning in on a weekly basis anyway, okay? We don't need those viewers. We want the viewers that completely understand the type of comedy we're trying to bring you here at Brash Sports. And I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Please don't. We need $17. We need that $17. All right, buddy. Well, let's call it a night.
He's pulling the plug. All right, buddy. Till next time.
We got to give our shout outs. Sheena Easton, big shout out to her. Thank you so much for performing that song live every single time we record this show.
We love you, Sheena.
Big thank you to Coasters. Such an underrated item, keeping water stains off of tables. Big thank you to Anderson, Cindy, Brian, all the guys behind the scenes that make Brash Sports work. And, dude, thank you for finding Dramatic Piano.
Without Dramatic Piano, there would not be an episode 5. So, from Mr. Soccer and Mr. Hockey, thanks again, guys.